Greetings from the veteran. Welcome to the end of the game video for Operation Iceberg. We have called it at the end of round 12 for the Allies. Congratulations me for victory. Good game. Spitfire. TJV Ball 8 and MP7. Thank you for the game. Looking forward to our next one, starting now, privately. Operation Dragoon. This game saw Japanese assault on China, but they did not attack my KMT army, which got to survive. Ended up with 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 23, 24, 25, 6, 31, 32 non-militia units in it, spread out between Yunnan and Kuntang. China just became a deadlock though, and it ended up at the end of the game, the CCP and Japanese had come to an agreement to pressure the KMT, but neither had made any attacks on my armies. The CCP had a 20 unit, 6, 12, 20 unit army in Quichao, and Japan had about the same in Hunan. But this game was won like when Japan declared war on the Netherlands East Indies. They failed to capture Borneo and Java on the first round. They also failed to capture Sumatra. And round 2, second turn at war with the Netherlands, they finally attacked Borneo and Java and captured them, but they still never got Sumatra, which was a big money and time and effort kind of waste, and they kind of fell behind because of that. And then what really hurt Japan was they were ready on turn something like 10 or whatever. They were going to use their surprise strike on America. They had their navy split up between like P-56 and P-46. They forgot to put units in port. Thought they were safe because I was $11 away from full income, but I rolled wartime and I was able to declare war on Japan and attack them, getting their surprise attack and bringing my fleet from the Panama, the major port. I was able to attack the Navy here and the Navy here from my Navy base in Hawaii. The American strategy worked from the beginning of the game, which was to plan to focus 100% on the Pacific. Starting off the game by building an extra fleet carrier, finishing the current fleet carrier on the production chart, building aircraft for the carriers, and sending the whole Navy into the Pacific, as well as buying support ships of submarines and destroyers, and then enough units to fill my transports. I also prioritized researching amphibious doctrine, which allowed me to never purchase a single Marine in the game. The US starts with plenty of infantry and militia, and you can upgrade all of the starting militia. And so you see right now on Hawaii, I have 8 infantry, 2 artillery, a light armor, a fighter, and a AAA with follow-up. Then a Navy, 2 battleships, 6 transports, 4 subs, 3 destroyers, 2 light cruisers, and then a follow-up fleet of 3 subs, destroyer, battleship, fleet carrier, attack transport, which will bringing an infantry and a medium tank, along with a fighter. And then there's basically no resistance left for the Japanese Navy. So the Americans were dominating the Pacific with cooperation from the Commonwealth allies who had aircraft in the Far East Command areas. And actually on turn 12 they attacked the Japanese Navy that was in B-41 and destroyed it with some subs and fighter support. And Japan was about to be kicked out of Southeast Asia completely, as well as Hong Kong was liberated by the KMT, and with an air transport and naval dominance, the Americans were going to reclaim their lost Pacific islands. They had already reclaimed Midway, and so Japan actually on one turn had captured all of the Pacific needed for the Pacific buffer zone point. They put a fort down in Midway, but I sent my whole army there and captured it. And turn 11. And so America was going to dominate and capture basically much of the Japanese islands and regain the sphere of influence point for America, maintaining the Big Blue Fleet point and the triumph of capitalism. While the British were looking to, they had the sun never sets, and they're looking to clear out the Italians in Africa. But mostly they had their eyes set on Rome, and I was probably going to attack Rome on turn 13. The Italians had 1, 5, 4, 9, 10 defending units. I was going to attack with 7 fighters, 2 medium bombers, 3 infantry from northern Italy, as well as 1 naval transport with a couple marines from here. And then this transport would be able to pick up an infantry off of Malta and 1 off of Gibraltar, or marines off of southern France. Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. So I was gonna have a 7 ground units plus 9 aircraft plus bombardments. I had 3 battleships as well. So I think Rome would have been mine. The Nationalists did win the Spanish Civil War early this game. They won on turn 4 with having sent about $9 of lend-lease, I think. But the Republicans had sent $0, or the Soviets had sent $0 to Spain. So that was about the least amount of money I've seen spent in Spain, and Spain resolved so quickly. It's an interesting war there. Vichy got about $3 outside of southern France, which was captured immediately by the British. One of the big things was that hurt the Axis terribly was on turn 6, Italy declared war on the Commonwealth, and they advanced towards Lower Egypt. and something like turn 8, and then Dak had been sent down on turn 7. Something like turn 8, there was a stack of 6 Italians in Transjordan that I had the freedom to attack because I consolidated the entire Commonwealth Navy in the Mediterranean, and so I forced them in port in Western Egypt, and I was able to amphibiously assault Transjordan, and then that was immediately followed up by an attack by Italy on Lower Egypt, which the Italians were completely decimated, and the British garrison was slightly bruised. But Dak came in and finished the job, and they captured Lower Egypt. But the problem is that they had no reinforcements, and I had my 5 infantry in Transjordan, as well as a fighter that I built in Cape Town and flew up to Sudan the turn prior. So I just retook Lower Egypt and my minor factory there that I built turn 1, and I completely recovered. Meanwhile, Italy had spent all their resources, and Germany had wasted their DAC forces. I eventually landed in both Aquitaine and southern France, and then I threatened Paris, but I kind of forgot there's a fortification and that the Germans had improved logistics, which they used to rail a bunch of units to Paris, and I had no chance to attack it. But I instead attacked northern Italy and positioned enough defense in southern France for this turn. The Axis without a German Navy and many air power lost in fighting Russia. They were going to have a little bit of a hard time managing the Atlantic Wall, and also recapturing Rome. So you can see there's no German units nearby, and there was just a huge fighting between the Soviets and the Germans when they needed to see that the Allies were the main threat, come to a peace agreement, but they would not do so. And one example of German losing Air Force was they sent 2 fighters in airborne to capture Leningrad, and then they had to sacrifice their fighters to capture Leningrad when the defenders got 2 hits on the final round of battle. And so the entire German Air Force only consists of right now a seaplane, 1 tactical bomber, 1 medium bomber, and 2 regular fighters, as well as 1 air transport. That's it for the German Navy Air Force, which is not very strong. And it's only positioned in Wallachia, which doesn't give them flexibility to come to the Western Front. The Soviets, engulfed in a battle between them and the Germans, were not able to score any of their points, but peace was maintained between Japan and Russia, which was helpful to those factions, those nations. But it wasn't enough when FEC Calcutta was deemed no longer under threat. They were able to just start pushing east into the Far East, and with Russia and Iran, they were able to divert some resources westwards. And this game just becomes a runaway for the Allies. And that's it. It was a good game, and thanks for playing it again, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.